Hey, this is Mad Hatter, and I'm going to show you some tools that I've been working on for making YouTube editing much faster and easier. There's a lot of things that I've always been frustrated with when editing a YouTube video, so I put together some scripts and stuff to help us out while we're editing. I'm calling this the YouTube video publishing tools, and it doesn't do everything I'd like it to yet, but it's a good start. And for all of you who are wondering, this is all going to be free and open source. If you want to grab a copy of it, go to the links in the description or go to the website in the description to get your own copy. I wrote this. I'm using tools that other people have published and that are open source as well, and I'll talk through those as I go through them. So here I am going to show you what we have. On this tool, we have three sections of sub-tools. We have video prep tools. Video prep tools are what we're going to use when we have raw video and we want to cut them into individual clips, but we want to remove all of the silence. That is something that other tools do charge for. So I know there is a tool called JumpCutter or TimeBolt, and both of those are paid tools that this is trying to emulate. I'm not going to claim it's as good, and I'm not going to claim that you're going to get the same support. What I am going to say is that it's much cheaper because this is free, and the other ones cost hundreds of dollars. Below that, I only have one tool available right now, and that is by OpenAI, and it is a text or speech-to-text tool. So you can take a recording of the voice track of your video and convert it to a transcription that you can have then uploaded into YouTube. The last section that I have is one that allows you to really quickly take the edit files from Davinci and convert them into your YouTube chapters, as well as put all of your social media links and all the other things you have in every single description into YouTube in one copy paste. So the idea is that you start at the top and you're going to take some raw video and convert it into clips and then import it into Davinci. Then you're going to go delete the clips out that you don't want. Then you're going to export the WAV file with the audio tracks only. Then you're going to export your markers and copy paste those into the video. It'll give you those three sections of the YouTube grind for very minimal work. Let's see how this works. I have a new Davinci Resolve project open. I'm going to go to a folder. I have a folder here. These are Minecraft gameplay videos that I have recorded. They have large chunks of silence in them. They have a bunch of things that I don't want. So the first thing I'm going to do is I need to choose which audio tracks I want to key on. You could select up to 6. That's how many I support right now. If somebody has a good reason to support more than 6, which is the total number of audio tracks that OBS will output by default, let me know in the comments. That's an easy change. In this, you select the tracks that you want to key on. Then you can set the ratio that you want to have this go off. And this is basically from the loudest sound in the sound file to the quietest sound that you want to keep. You're going to have to play with these sliders to get it set for your voice. Then we have the in space, out space, minimum clip length, and minimum silence duration. In space is the amount of time when your word starts to the beginning of the clip. So what I mean by that is if you have words that start quietly, it's the amount of dead space that you allow before the word. Out space is the same thing. Sometimes when you say a word, it'll trail off to be a little bit quieter. It's how much space you allow after the word. Minimum clip length. Minimum clip length is the shortest piece of audio that you want to keep. Sometimes you'll have a different speech pattern, or you'll want to remove coughs and sneezes automatically. This sets what's the shortest time frame that you want to keep. If you do set this up right now, I kind of have it in what I'd consider a problem spot, because if you add this to this, it is equal to the 0.5, meaning that no matter what you do, it'll keep that because it'll add the in space, it'll add the out space, and it'll keep everything that is detected. So you want that to be bigger than your in space plus your out space. Maybe you don't. Maybe you want to get every sound and delete it manually in DaVinci. That's all up to you. I don't control that. And then the minimum silence duration is so that you can control the shortest cut that you want to make. If you don't want your video to get choppy, you can increase this and it will only cut silences when they're greater than this number. Let's give that a go. We can cut a clip. Okay, let's go through an example. So here I have my folder of media. We're going to grab this 2 GB clip and we're going to put it into our library, and we're going to go to cut clip, and we're going to grab that 2 GB clip and run it. There's a progress bar on the other screen. It's actually looking like that, and you saw it flash away for a second, and now I have an EDL file. If I go import my EDL, since I have my media already there, we'll just find the video in my media folder and cut it down. So this is now a whole bunch of clips totaling 30 minutes long. Well, let's see what it was before. It was one long video that was 2 hours and 30 minutes long. So all that this did was get rid of the silent sections where I wasn't talking. So it changed the way that I could actually record the videos. I didn't need to think about how rapid my speech was to make an entertaining video. I just had to make sure I had the right words in the right order, and then I can go back and I can delete the words or the spaces that I don't want automatically, and it makes the video a lot more smooth. So this changed the way I record videos as well as the way I edit videos, because now I don't have to worry about, did I say things at a pace that's going to keep viewers entertained? I just need to worry about, did I get all of the words I need said? And it'll remove all the dead space for me. That to me is huge. You can set this on, let's say, the game audio track that had like gunfire for a Call of Duty game. You can record your entire Call of Duty match and wait and only find the sections where you had gunfire. And you can wait and see that you only find the sections that had gunfire and your voice in it. You can do all of that sort of stuff. You will have to set up your audio tracks appropriately in OBS and set up your appropriately in OBS, but that's not what this video is about. So now I'm going to delete all of the timelines out just to get us back to fresh. I don't know about you, but I'm lazy and I don't want to have to manually import every timeline for every clip. If they are in time code order, and I mean that you recorded them or modified all the files in the correct timeline order, you can use the cut folder function. So I just click the cut folder button, I select a folder, and now we're going to have the progress bar run for a little bit longer, and it's going to go through and it's going to grab every video file in timecode order and then just stack them at the end of the previous video file, grabbing all the clips and compiling them all together for you. So you just have one long section of video to go through and cut. This does take longer because it has to do every single video, but it's just a couple of seconds, minutes, or whatever, depending upon how big and long your videos are. There it's done. I don't think I would have cut much of the time from that, but I'm using this tool to cut the video, so I can't tell you for sure. Now, we have that folder. I'm going to delete the first EDL file we made, highlight all of the files that we had, and then import the timeline. And now you have all of your clips for all of your individual videos in one timeline that you can go through and edit. Now, this is not perfect. It's still going to get some little silent bits here and there that it keeps for some reason or another, but it is so much faster than doing this by hand. So we're going to go and look at a video that I've already done some editing on. Here I have my fully put together video. I haven't added my music tracks yet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually turn off and mute every track except for my voice track. I do have 2 voice tracks on here because of the way that I record in OBS. I have the just in case of emergencies and I forgot to select something, I record all audio on one track, and then I have the individual audio tracks so that I can actually adjust sound levels and whatnot. We're going to go to the launch icon, and we're going to scroll all the way to the right to audio only. We're going to select wave. I think that most of these will work if you do select them, but I have just always used wave, and we're going to put it in a folder that we can find and name it something that we can find. Add this to render queue, and we're going to render that out. This goes much faster than rendering a video. That's why I recommend using the audio version. It is still, a render out job that you have to do. Okay, my render is complete. We're gonna go back to the YouTube prep tools. In the audio section, there's now these speech models. What I'll tell you is that the smaller the speech model is, the faster it will run. And the larger the speech model is, the more accurate it will be. Now, I did choose the OpenAI libraries for all languages. So if this is an English only video, it is going to take a little bit longer to run than if I were to choose the English optimized libraries, but I wanted to be able to support videos in different languages. If you want to know what is supported, you're going to have to go to OpenAI's Whisper library and figure out what that library supports. I usually use the base and have good luck with it, but you can use larger ones if you want. Now, at this point, the first time you run it, it has to go out and download the file. That's going to take a lot longer than the next times that you run it. To give you an idea, the base file I know is around 175 megabytes. The small file is around 500 megabytes. The medium file is around 2 gigs, and then the large I think is 4 gigs. So choose the one that is appropriate and works best for you. For me, I typically just use the base file. I hit the button to transcribe to wave. I go back. I'm going to grab the the audio file I just exported. This brings up another progress bar. It runs for a little bit. This does take quite a bit of time to run, just so that you're aware. That's partially why YouTube takes so long to give you an auto transcript. So this should help at least get you your transcription in a way that you can control. Okay, well, that closed. It took a couple of minutes to run, and yes, it will take a while. But here we are with our text all written out for us in a text file. So that is the transcribe feature. Now, the last feature that we have is actually to do with markers. And in order to tell you how I do that, I need to actually go through and show you how I set my markers up. And this is not going to be the real markers I make for this video. I'm just going to show you what I usually use, and I'll go to an example video to show you how that looks when it's done. So first thing, to add a marker in Davinci, I use Control M when I'm clicked into Davinci, and I add one at the beginning, at 00 at the very first part, and that is intro. You can add whatever you want here. Do make sure that it is in the name field, and then also make sure you select a consistent color for all of your chapters. Next thing I do, I'll go through and I'll put the chapters where I actually want them. Another thing that I like to do while I'm doing this is put in my iCards. I do that on another color. So I do that, for me, I use blue for chapters, cyan for iCards, and green for ad breaks. I just go from left to right, and I put them in whatever order fits. And I'll do that for the entire video. We're gonna go see what that looks like for a completed video. So this video, I have a bunch of markers and a couple of ad breaks and a couple of iCards that I want to show on the screen, and they're all in my timeline. And that's great. Now, what are we going to do with them? Well, what we do is we go down here to these 3 dots, and we go to show markers. And if we just show blue, it'll give us the timestamps, the names, yada, 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 for each of the markers. And that's great if you want to type them in by hand, but I'm lazy and I don't want to type them in by hand. So then we go to our timeline item that we are editing, and we right click timelines, export edit index, and then we can export it to a CSV. This next process only works for the chapter markers. I don't have a good way to do insertion of iCards automatically, so this next step is only for chapters. After we go back to our YouTube publishing tools program, I would recommend filling out this description tools box here with all of your social media links, Patreon, Discord, Twitter, whatever, Mastodon, whatever you have, you put it all in here. And then, so now that we've actually gone through and exported our CSV of the marker indexes, we can go down here and click on markers to clipboard, select our file wherever we saved it, and it will immediately copy it to our clipboard. Now, if we bring up a place to paste that, this could be directly into YouTube when you're editing your description, and we hit paste. You can see here we have outro, all of these individual chapters, along with all of our social media links, just nice and neat. I think this combination of tools has saved me a couple of hours per video, probably closer to 4 or 5 hours of fiddly editing time to get to this similar quality. And if I were to do the transcribing myself, that's about 4 or 5 times the video length in time that I'm saving but with one click of a button. Yes, I do have to wait for these things to run, but I can do other things while they're running. So how do we install this? So the first thing that we're going to have to do is install FFmpeg. I'm going to give you a link to a YouTube video on how to do that. I'm not going to explain how to install FFmpeg and add it to Path for this video. It's just going to be way too long when I get all of the stuff that I've already cut in together. So link to troubleshoot. I had found this video when I was trying to figure out a way to explain it to you, and the person has done a better job than I could actually do. So watch their video if you don't know how to install FFmpeg and add it to Path. I have not found a better way to do it than this, and I apologize. It's a nature of FFmpeg, and I absolutely need it to do the video cutting and the audio transcription. Both of them rely on FFmpeg being in Path, and without it, I can't actually do any of those things. The only thing that will work if you don't do the FFmpeg install is the markers to clipboard. It won't crash the program, but it will not work if you do not do what is in the troubleshoot video. The next thing that you're going to have to do is go to the other link in the description, the GitHub link or my website link, which should hopefully have this all explained in a post. So if you are on GitHub, I hopefully actually have instructions written in a README file by the time that you're watching this video. I go to the releases on the right hand side. I click the releases. I go to the latest one, and then there will be a YouTube prep.exe. You can click on this and it will download. I'm showing you an alpha version because I've been going through and actually finding little tweaks as I record the video and making sure that everything worked as I expected as I've been recording. So I don't have the beta version up on GitHub right now. That'll be up after the video is recorded, but before it goes out, along with the instructions, because I've been working on this as I've been recording the video. So if you find a bug with this, that is an important bug, you're going to go to the GitHub link. You're going to go to issues. You're going to create a new issue, and you're going to put in whatever text you can here. Please attach images if you have them, especially if you have ones of the command line. And I'm going to be launching a older version of the program because I don't have the current version fully compiled yet. You're going to have this executable, you double click, and it's going to pop up a terminal like this. If you have a bug that you want to report, please include a screenshot of whatever's on the terminal. If you get the terminal to forcibly close, then I'm going to need you to send whatever files or operations that you were running in the ticket just so I can actually try to reproduce. But taking a screenshot of this terminal when we actually have a bug is really helpful. After that, it's going to take a couple of minutes to launch. This is because it has to load all of the AI tools and whatever that are used to actually do these processes. Don't have a way that I know to speed this up right now. It's just part of the tool chain that I'm using, and I couldn't build this as easily in a different tool chain. So then you're going to get a pop-up window that looks like this, and when you can use the same functions that we've been talking about in the video to do whatever you need to do. When you hit exit, it will close everything out. It'll close the command line. It'll close out this window. If you hit the Xbox, it should close out the command line and the window automatically. If you are in the middle of editing a video or doing something that's hanging, what will happen is when you close this GUI, the command line may stay open and you'll have to close that separately. That's because the GUI process is running separate from the actual editing process. So that way Windows behaves nicer and it doesn't say that it's not responsive. So if you have a bug, do file the bug away. Remember to put in screenshots. Remember to put in a descriptive title of what you can. And if you can, upload images, audio files, video files, link to whatever you're using that is having a problem. That helps me reproduce the problem on my end. If you know how to do something better than what I'm doing, I will accept pull requests. This is an open source project. All of the code for everything is in here. It's all readable to the user. If you do not want to use my executables because you're afraid of them, you can work to install the Python libraries yourself. All the Python libraries are available. This should work on Linux or Mac. I do not have an Apple device to actually test this on, and I don't have a way to build the app. So if somebody wants to actually build this for Mac, I will accept a pull request to put that tested artifact into the release. But that's really what I have for today. So if you like the video, do like the video. If you have some information that you want to share with me, or if you want to contribute, hit me up on GitHub. If you have questions, join the Discord, links in the description, and we can talk about it in Discord. Anyway, this is Hatter, and I'm out. Bye.